So I've not filmed a book review for quite some time, so I thought that today would be the day that I would do that. And since I haven't done one for quite a while, why not jump in with a huge anthology where I review every single story? Don't do things by halves. So I am going to be reviewing today Survive With Me, which is a charity anthology, a collection of survival. Now this has been put out by Alien Agenda Publishing, edited by Kenneth W. Kane, and Glenn Rolfe is the owner of Alien Agenda Publishing, and he sent this to me. So it has some absolutely fantastic authors, many of whom I have read before, some who are new to me, and probably a couple whose names I'm going to butcher. It is all proceeds will benefit the American Indian College Fund, so it is a purely charity anthology. Okay, so here we go. The first story, and I'm doing this in the order of the anthology, the first story is called Hold Still by Herman. Now, I've done myself notes and I'm reading off the screen, so if it looks like I'm going cross-eyed or anything, that's what I'm doing, okay? So I have put, I love this story. It was intriguing, interesting, fun and different. I love the characters, the build-up. The ending wasn't a huge surprise, but at the same time, it had a real ambiguity to it, and it wasn't clear-cut. So even though I wasn't shocked by the end, I still really liked it, and I was a bit like, ooh, I wonder, which is always good. Because basically a short story has everything that a novella or a novel has, but compacted in. You still have all of those underlying points of a big book, but you've got to cram it all into just a few thousand words. So anybody who writes short stories and does it well is a big thumbs up anyway. So for the first one, Hold Still, I gave it 5. Okay, next one is Culling the Pigs by Chadski. So I've put, this story was fab. I loved it. In such a few words, it packed a real punch. This was one of the stories that felt very real, and you were rooting for the character the whole time. You really wanted her to get through all of this and survive. And I've just put that ending though. Great ending. There'll be no spoilers in this. And again, Chad, 5. Okay. The next one was one of, and actually I loved all the stories in this in varying degrees, but a couple really stood out for me. Possibly slightly biased because of who the authors were. But the next one's called Abby's Best Role by Moreland. Now I love Brian anyway. I find his work just utterly amazing, so it was no surprise that I enjoyed this one. So I've already read several things by Brian, and I've always thoroughly enjoyed his storytelling and character development, and this short did not let me down. It was wonderfully violent, and it held a poignant message within it too. So it was another one of the stories, which there's several in here, and that's not exactly a surprise with the theme of survival. But several of them had a real message within them, that the character was doing something, but there was a reason behind it, maybe a moral or just something, so that it made, even if it was terribly violent, you still were like, yeah, come on, to the survivor, to the character. And this was one of them, and it was brilliant. I absolutely loved it. So another 5. Okay, Forest Butter is the next one by John Everson, and there are a couple of, without any spoilers, there are certain things that make me all heebie-jeebie-ish, anything to do with bugs and things like that. So that's all I'll say about this one. But I've put, John has the uncanny ability to freak me out with his work, and this did not fail, just bleh. Certain parts just gave me the creeps, but it's a really good story. And I've also put, and I will never look at butter in a restaurant in the same way again. So you'll have to read that one to find out what forest butter is and what parts gave me the heebie-jeebies, and that is another 5. Next one, it's the first time I've read anything by this lady, Sick Burn by Summer Cannon. And I've put, the first thing is, it was always going to be a winner because the main character is called Janine. Yay! Which is a total coincidence because Summer and I don't know each other. So I've put this one felt very real, and again without a spoiler, this looks at a relationship between a teenage girl and her mother. So it was very real, very possible, obviously very horrific, but still something that could happen, which often makes horror all the worse for the things that can actually happen. And as mama to a girl, yeah, definitely. So that was another 5. Okay.